You asked for it, you got it. That was an old commercial, right? Wasn't it Toyota or something like that? I think it was. I think it was an old commercial.
Maybe.
Anyway, you asked for it. And that's going to be a new segment of ours. We'll get to that later. But right now, what you asked for is what's better, Parker's Heritage or Elijah Craig A123?
Welcome to the Bourbon Doctors. I'm Albert. This is Chad. You guys asked for this. You guys want to know, hey, how does the Parker's Heritage compare to this year's ECBP?
Aside from being about 3 times more.
3 times more expensive.
That's about $200. This is $65, $70.
Yep. Now, on first impression, I thought, well, that's kind of, and I know I kind of threw that out there because they're both Heaven Hill products, but at first I was like, I don't know, that's not really a good comparison, right? One's double barreled and the other one's not, and one's $200 and one's $70.
Mm-hmm.
But then we started talking the details. This is 130 proof. This is 126.
Mm-hmm.
They're both from Heaven Hill, so the mash bill's probably pretty similar.
Aged about 12
That's
years.
12 years.
13.
This one's 13.
So
they're not so far off.
Roughly the same product from the same distillery, except 3 times more.
Yeah.
It's like getting a Lincoln versus a Ford.
And that may be. Yeah.
It's like getting, hey, man.
Yeah. It's your Audi versus Volkswagen.
It just takes a lot longer on the assembly line.
Yeah. So, we are lovers of both of these whiskeys.
Oh, there's no bad choice here.
We're winning. We're winning.
The question is if they were both sitting on the shelf and you had $200, is it better to buy this or 3 of these?
Yeah. I think that's a valid question.
Okay.
Or perhaps the other way to spin that is
to get this and still have 130 left.
Or even this is 6 times times easier to find than this.
Yeah.
Right?
If they're both sitting on the shelf, you buy that and you go out for a steak dinner.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
I know in our liquor store we get like my liquor store that I frequent the most.
Oh, okay. I thought you owned one.
Well, I could someday, maybe. They get 6 bottles of this 3 times a year, right?
Yeah,
the 3 different versions,
yeah.
right? They get 1 bottle of this per year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Let's
It's a lot easier to get some Elijah Craig barrel proof. Let's pour a couple. Let's pour a little. Yeah. And
these are up there. 126 and 130. Don't over pour.
Clearly, we're not blind in this.
And it'd be hard to do because that is just some dark bourbon right there.
It really is.
It really is.
It's really dark. Obviously the double barreling process, but
and
maybe we should have blinded.
When you look at it, it really isn't.
Yeah, in the glass. Wow, I thought I was.
Yeah, they're really not.
In
this, I don't know if it's the bottle or what it is.
Yeah, but maybe it's the shape of the bottle because it's thicker. I don't know. It's clear at this part, so I think it's about the same. But
maybe they tinted it.
Maybe. Let's just try them out.
All right, let's go.
Right.
This is the A, right? Correct.
This is the A.
All right.
You get Sharpie marker.
You get an A.
You get funky.
No, A for effort. That was the last year's A.
Last year's A, yeah.
That everyone said, and it really did when we tried it again.
Oh, sweet, caramelly, vanilla.
Perfect.
Almost perfect. Oh,
that is just really good.
A touch of nut at the end. That's a really fantastic bourbon. It's got just a roller coaster of flavor profile and that
is so good.
Really one of the best bourbons you can buy.
The Elijah Craig barrel
full
proofs,
stop.
I haven't had a bad one.
No, just fantastic bourbon.
Okay. And I don't remember this as well.
No. Wow.
2 things hit me. Number 1, after having them both, there is absolutely no way you would guess in a million years that that's 130 and that's 126.
I would agree with that.
For the proof point these are, they do not taste it at all. They don't burn.
No.
The Parker's Heritage maybe a little bit.
A little bit more warm.
More hug,
a little bit more hug, right?
But as far as I'll be honest, it's not nearly as sweet.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as sweet as the A123.
I don't get as much of a flavor
I don't
profile.
get as much
It's not as
complexity. And if we go back to our original question, these are both sitting on the shelf and you have $200. I'm buying this and keeping my 130. I might even buy 2 bottles of this.
Yeah.
And keep
If they'd let you.
60, 70 bucks.
Yeah.
Instead of getting this. Now, yes.
That's
what I would do.
I will say, tasting them back to back, you can tell it's the same distillery.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, those flavor notes are there and very similar, but I feel like the ECBP just brings them out.
Oh my
like, it
God.
hits harder.
That is just so flavorful. That's one of the most flavorful bourbons I've had recently, at least. But here's the other thing I'm going to say. I'm going to caveat that. Anytime, if I had $200,
Sip it again.
So good.
Which one did you just sip again?
The Elijah Craig.
Oh, I was telling you to sip the other one again.
Okay. The Parker's.
Yeah. My second sip was way better than my first.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. They're both really
They're both really good. I think that the ECB, for that, there's such a discrepancy in price point and availability that it's hard for me to say that the Parker's Heritage is where we should be steering people.
No, I would steer you to this, and I'd say get a bottle and take 130 and take your wife out to dinner or something.
And this is one where, like, you know, when we compare 2 different distilleries, 2 different bourbons, yep, they're wildly different. These are really good. These are cousins, right? These are siblings.
The other thing I'm gonna say, and I talked with Albert about this. You know, there's times things like this, if you can find it.
Yeah.
And you may want it for yourself. Great, get it for yourself. But if you have someone like a wedding or something like that, a retirement,
if you want to impress somebody,
you want to impress someone, and we've all said, hey, bourbon's not to impress people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
However, it does. Let's just be honest about that. It does.
Let's say, I mean, if you're giving us a gift, if you got me a bottle of ECBP, I'd be happy. Super happy. If you brought me a Parker's Heritage, I'd be like, oh my God, how do I possibly?
Yeah, I'd feel bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I got a gift and it was the Kentucky Owl, and I was like, I know how much that is. You spent too much.
Yeah.
And you could have got me 2 bottles of this.
Well, I mean, I don't know. If someone gave me a Parker's Heritage, I'm gonna
take it.
Super thankful.
But I do think it's one of those bottles that if you got it, you keep it around.
Yeah.
And you drink it maybe once or twice a year. You give it to someone.
If I come across the one bottle of this that hits our liquor store every year, I'm probably going to buy
it. And you're going to spend the $200.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like I said, if it's one of those things, like if you had a special event, like a wedding or a retirement, you could give it to them.
Yeah.
Say, hey, look, congratulations. You know, and I think it would pull a lot of weight.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
It's especially if it's someone who knows bourbon.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's sort of where I'd go. But on the other hand, the average person, if you can find this and get it for 60, 70 bucks, you cannot go wrong.
You can't go wrong, and you're not missing out on Parker's Heritage if you're getting that bottle. Yeah, absolutely.
No. So this was a new thing.
Yeah.
And
this was you guys asked us.
Yeah, you asked for it.
Yeah.
And so if you want something else, make sure it's something we can get. Don't ask us, can you compare Pappy 23 to Pappy 15? No, we can't. You know why? Because we can't find it.
Yeah.
So, but if you said, hey, let's try this, and we'll let you know, we can send in comments, hey, yeah, we're going to do that. If you said, hey, can you put, Buffalo Trace against, whatever, Old Granddad Bonded, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Or whatever we can get. Yeah. And then you can go along with too.
Yeah.
And so I think it'd be a lot of fun. So send us your comments. Let us know what you want us to try. And we'll do it. But in this case, hopefully you got some good feedback. And either way, you can't go wrong. But I'd still probably go with this for the money.
Sounds good.
All right.
We're the Bourbon Doctors.
Cheers.
Chad, Albert, remember.
Like, subscribe. Bourbon is for drinking.
Cheers.
Cheers.